Outlaw Sports is brought to you by Molson Canadian, made from Canada, and Rocky Mountain Barbecue, Alberta barbecue cuisine at its best. AFC matchups this weekend, Grant. We start off with Denver. Denver playing host to Baltimore. Two legends going head-to-head. Two guys that are certainly going to make it to the Hall of Fame. The great season that Peyton Manning has this year, the way he's come back from that neck surgery, and certainly it has to be considered for the MVP award with Adrian Peterson, and comeback player of the year with Adrian Peterson, and what he's done to elevate this team and make it one of the favorites against a Baltimore team, kind of the bad boy kind of image. Everyone kind of thinks Ray Lewis and these guys, but I've got so much respect for Ray Lewis. I've watched this series on him on the Football Life, and wow, what a charismatic cat! What
quality person, not
quality,
just charismatic, but a family guy with a good faith and just a good all-around quality man.
And I kind of lost that a little bit when a few years ago he was involved in that incident where a guy got killed
outside a nightclub.
And the old adage, nothing good ever happens after 2 o'clock in the morning. I always said, nothing bad happens after 2 o'clock in the morning. But in that case, it's a different story. But boy, I tell you what, it just brought a tear to my eye to watch him at his last game in Baltimore.
That was emotional.
It was.
It was emotional when he took that lap around Raven Stadium in Baltimore. I thought that was fantastic. I think everybody likes him because of the way he plays. I mean, did you see that big knee brace looking thing he had for his tricep? And he performed well. He
13 tackles.
Yes. He was dominant on the blitz and things like that. And I thought it was classy to put him in for the last play of the game when they took the knee and the ovation. I love seeing his little dance and all that kind of stuff. And his family was there. I think Denver is going to beat them. I think Denver is a better team. They've proven that all season long. But somebody said Baltimore is like the old veteran kind of guy. Kind of like you and me. That, there's younger people who are talented getting the headlines, but don't count out those old guys that still have something, that can beat you with something. Not a lot of weapons, but just, well, I guess Bolden's a pretty good weapon too, and a Flacco can play well. So I don't count out Baltimore, but I got to go with Peyton Manning in Denver.
Well, then you have Houston, who looks so good this year at times till the end of the year. They lost very badly in New England, and in fact were embarrassed. And boy, they just haven't been the same football team since.
That was a Monday night game, Mike.
The biggest game in their history of that franchise.
I was so looking forward to that game. So looking forward to the game. And New England was just so far superior. Houston looked terrible. They were embarrassing in that game. What was the final? It was like 43, 18 or something like that.
Brutal.
It was terrible. Now, maybe that's motivation for this team going back to Foxborough. Maybe that's motivation for them not to crap the bed like they did last time. However, just like I say with Baltimore going into Denver, you hope maybe they've got something. But from what I've seen from Houston in the last month, you got to go with Tom Brady.
But doesn't that say something about Bill Belichick and Tom Brady? Every year, they reinvent that team. They bring in, they're kind of like the old Raiders, Grant, because they do bring in a lot of cast-offs. People didn't want them, guys with bad attitudes, bad records, and yet they will play for Belichick because that is the class of the league. And having Tom Brady as your quarterback doesn't hurt either. But it's interesting to see how many offshoots or how many disciples of Belichick's
coaching staff
have gone elsewhere and failed. So there's your proof on who runs that ship.
Yeah, I think we talked about the New England Patriots a while ago right here on Outlaw Sports, that this organization is Robert Kraft, the owner of this team. They deserve a lot of credit for maintaining a high caliber of play. Yeah, Tom Brady's been there for all that time too, but still, they still find a way to be top-level competition. That is tough to do in pro sports.
So we look for Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
I want to see that matchup.
That's what I would. Yeah, sure.
Just like you look forward to Wilson versus Griffin, you look forward to those matchups. They sometimes let you down, but I think that would be an outstanding game.
Yep.